Hi, I'm Matthew Pasquarelli and I'm majoring in computer science.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Few and I'm in biomedical engineering.
I'm Colin Demjanczyk and I'm computer science attendant.
Hi, I'm Jenny Renner and I'm a biomedical engineer and our project was the fabric bucket. We used the engineering design process and the first thing we did was to identify the problem. The second thing we did was to identify criteria and constraints, and the third thing we did was brainstorm ideas and then build the model and refine the design.
So the first step was to identify the problem. And it's that in some areas of the world, and especially in third world countries, there's not a lot of drinking water readily available. So our job was to design a bucket that was economically feasible and that would let these people walk long distances to get their water, and that it would keep it clean and keep it in the bucket. The second step was to identify the criteria and the constraints. And so the big one was that it had to be less than $40. We couldn't spend any more than that, and that it also had to be less than 2 feet in height, including the handle, when it was full of water, and it had to hold at least 1 gallon of water. And the bucket, when folded up, had to fit in a 4x4x6 box. One of the most important criteria that we had to meet was that at the competition, when we poured 1 gallon of water, it was not allowed to leak for an entire minute. So the third step was to brainstorm ideas for possible fabrics for the bucket. And so one of the restraints was that we couldn't use plastic because it's a pre-made material, and same with duct tape. And we also weren't allowed to use a rain jacket because it's plastic and pre-made material, and the purpose of it is to hold out water. And we also had this idea to use a non-woven called Tyvek, but that was really expensive. It was like $60, so we couldn't use that. And we decided on canvas, and we decided it would work because it's thick enough that if we saturate it with a coating, like wax, then it would work and it would become hydrophobic and keep out the water. So the fourth step of the design process was to build the model of the bucket. So the first thing that we did was take the canvas and we bought some premium candle wax, and then we melted that, and we took paintbrushes and painted it on the canvas. So the canvas with the wax did hold water, but it dried kind of flaky, so it fell off relatively easy. So we decided to take an iron and to melt the canvas even more into the fabric so that it would saturate it. So then we took grommets and we put those in the fabric, about 10 of them, so that it would be easier to hold the rope, which was the handle. And so then we pulled it into a sack-like shape and we tied the rope together at the top.
So we brought our bucket in on Fed Day, and after about 45 seconds it started to leak, but it was extremely marginal amount of water, like it was only a few drops, and we expected it to go 45 seconds because we tried it numerous times before Fed Day, and we couldn't, despite as many reparations as we made, we couldn't get it above 45 seconds. So we didn't place, but it still did pretty well regardless, and it was a good final effort. So, despite not being in the whole water for 60 seconds, we did meet all the other requirements for the fabric bucket. It fit in a 4x4x6 box, and it was also under 2 feet in length, and it's made of 50% or less fabric material, which is another critical requirement.
It's like a coin purse. I don't know. It looks like it's leaking to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Well, I did pretty well.
So I think if we were to do this project again, knowing what we know now and seeing what some of the other groups tried, we would definitely experiment with more materials for waterproofing, maybe a mix of wax and other material, or just different kinds of wax to see what works best. I also think it would be beneficial if we went back and sort of streamlined the design so it could be easily reproduced and just sort of look cleaner as well as be more functional.
Okay, so advice to future freshmen, make sure that you pick a project that you'll enjoy because you're going to be working on it for a few months, so you're going to want to have fun while you're doing it. And another thing is don't procrastinate. I know everyone says that, but it's so important because make sure you're keeping up with your milestones and the steps along the way to make sure that you have a great finished project. And also use your resources. Talk to the guru, email him if you have any questions because they know what they're talking about. Because they made the project, so they're going to know everything about it. So make sure that you utilize your resources and you talk to other professors if you need to.